And good evening, good evening.
Hello.
Welcome to.
Um, we have with Jim's in Town Gardens and Bella's Legacy Rabbitry.
Oh, yeah. Hi, honey.
Hi.
My baby just got up from a nap. We got back from Bangor and she was tired and she took a nap. I woke her up about 15 minutes, no, about 15 minutes ago. And says, I didn't mean to sleep so long. So,
Hello, everybody. Hello, Sylvia.
Sylvia's excited on the new book.
She got her
It's awesome.
books.
That's awesome, and I knew you would. Happy campers, welcome.
Hi, happy campers.
So happy
Hello, Sarah.
campers are maniacs, and there's Sarah. She's now a maniac.
And Hodges.
Brother Hodges, and Chris is in the background. I don't know if it's Chris or Tony. What? Sister Caitlin, welcome, and Sister Lisa.
Hi, Tony. Hi, Caitlin. Hello. Is
think-
Alicia here?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, hi, Alicia.
I think Tony was getting ready to do a video and happened to click in the live. That's fine. Loud noise again, very good. Okay, hold on a minute.
Spinning noise.
I don't know if anybody else is getting it, but let me see. No mic access. I can see it's working.
No. Well, that's not good.
You know what? Give me just a minute. I'm going to sign out. I'll be right back. Praise the Lord. Welcome, everybody. How is that? It's not going to the microphone that I want it to go to. Is anybody hearing me?
Hello.
Let's see. Who else came in? Brother Tony. Brother Rick.
Tony, Brother Rick.
How are you tonight?
So, I hope we haven't missed anybody.
And we can hear you. Okay. Very good. Very good. It's not going to my main microphone, and I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. Well, not a whole lot I can do unless I shut down everything. Praise the Lord. I hope everybody is having a great day. Wet, rainy today. Tomorrow's a little bit better. We're cloudy, but it's going to be a little bit better. Not a whole lot I can do, sister. Not a whole lot I can do.
Pop in on one stream.
Oh, Tony.
Oh,
Tony did. Yeah. No, I kind of figured that's what happened. That's okay. Clear there. Okay. I'm not sure. I know I'm not getting the signal that I usually get. So, and I know what's going on my camera, but. So, what's everybody been up to? Anybody doing any canning or dehydrating or freezing?
I should have.
I was just telling Leanna I'm going to pull the rest of my tomatoes and my peppers. There's still some bell peppers about like this out there.
Oops.
Banana peppers they're still small, but tomatoes, there's a lot of tomatoes that are almost ripe. Tony's making. Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, I kind of saw that when I set up a bunch of videos. I was in food today. Book today. Doing my lessons. Very good, sister. Very good. Nothing money. Right here. Okay. We didn't grow much this year due to the rain and late frost. Yeah. You know, we had more rain than I ever remember. You know what? I am going to send the link in case anybody wants to come up and we talk about prepping.
You got it, Rick.
Most wettest summer that I could ever remember. But you know, for the most part on the garden, I'm happy. Our onions didn't get to the size that they normally do, but we still got plenty. Our potatoes didn't do quite as much as what I thought, but we'll have plenty.
Why does it look like there's fog in the kitchen?
That's the way the screen is. If for some reason on StreamYard it is, but over here it's not.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure why. A lot of it's probably the white.
Oh, maybe. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's white. Still a little bit. I should have refreshed the computer. We still have cherry tomatoes still outside. They look very good and still green. I still have a lot of green tomatoes, but there's a lady down the road that I bring them down almost every year, and she makes green tomato pickles out of them. I am not that crazy about them, but she gives to a lot of people, so I help her out, and she helps a lot of other people out. So I've been doing that now for probably 5 or 6 years.
Oh, at least.
Yeah. So, and I like that. Here comes Sylvia. She's almost there. There she is. I like that. Oh, Sylvia.
Hey, Sylvia. Good to see you.
She's almost there.
Now everybody gets to see what I look like. Good to see y'all too. Oh, wait a minute. Everybody gets to see what I look like. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Oh,
I thought I
okay.
could hear it in the background, but
Yeah, I apologize. I forgot about YouTube.
yeah,
Your hair grew.
our hair grew. You shrunk.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Bangs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Can I show y'all something that I have?
Absolutely.
All right. Excuse the house. I've been going through a lot of stuff, trying to organize stuff. Hey, Mississippi girl.
Hi, Larry and Sherry.
Hello, Larry and Sherry. Welcome.
All right. This is called the Vista. It's called the Vista heater, space heater.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got it on my Patriot Supply. Right now they're on sale for $98, but on Amazon you can get them. They're $169, $129 or something like that. But I got mine when I first heard about it.
Yeah.
And to me, I was looking at the safety feature. It's enclosed, okay? And I can use it in the house. I used it last year when we got really, really cold.
Yeah.
And let me grab this back here. I can get it. Got it.
Very good, Tony.
It uses it uses safe heat.
Okay.
And you got 3 cans in here. Oops. You got 3 cans in here. Oh. That was upside down. You got 3 cans in here, just like that. Okay. And in the back here, you got a fan. When the cans are lit and they're inside this enclosed on the bottom, the fan starts running and it blows heat out. It blows the heat out.
Very good.
But here's the good part about it. You can take the top of it off, and I've used it this way too. Put the cans inside, and you can use it to cook on.
Cooker. Very good.
Wow.
And because it is enclosed, it makes it safe to use inside the trailer.
Yeah. Very
That
good.
is wicked awesome.
You can get it's called the Vista space heater, and you can cook on it, or you can use it as a heater when you don't want to cook on it. Now, when I use it, I use 2 cans to heat, but 3 cans is sufficient to cook on, and each can is 6 hours long. That ain't bad.
So you get 18 hours.
Right. And I've got 12 cans in stock right now.
Wow.
So the only thing is that it claims to be able to heat a 225 square foot room. My living room is 224.
Yeah.
You got to be in a smaller room. My 3rd bedroom, it will heat up because it's a 9 by 10. My 3rd bedroom in the trailer. So when I go in there and I run this, it will keep that room warm. But this big living room, it will not. But, I put it on my side table and have it blowing on me and get under my 0-degree sleeping bag. Believe me, this thing will keep you warm.
Wow.
It will definitely keep you warm. It was chilly last night. That's why I brought it out. So this to me is safe indoors. That's why I like it. I'm always looking for safety.
Right.
If I'm going to use something indoors.
Yeah. And that's important.
And this is the snuffer. When you open the thing, you can snuff it out. each one. So sometimes I do use 3 cans for it because it does put out more heat. But hang tight. So you can get these on Amazon, but right now, if you go to My Patriot Supply, they've got them on sale for $89. I'm not promoting them. I just like the unit. I think whoever come up with this idea is great. I'm wanting to get their oven. They've got an oven that kind of works similar the same way, and you can use it indoors or outdoors with charcoal or wood stick, little twigs.
Yeah.
Or you can use it with the safe heat indoors and cook in the oven. Now, it does take 35 minutes to heat it up. It's not going to be like a regular stove.
Right.
But that is expensive. That's $168, I think, for the unit. But eventually, I want to get it. And, there we go. And the good thing about this is when you shut this, I'll get it. When you shut it like that, it holds the top in place. The top is not going to move when you shut the canisters in there.
Yeah.
And I bought 12. I may go ahead and get 12 more.
How much do those cost? The oil,
The safe heat.
yeah, the safe
cans.
heat.
Yeah,
much
safe
are those?
heat, and the fan is in the back, and it will also run on candles. I ran it on big candles in here, and once it gets hot enough, this fan starts blowing, and it'll blow the heat out.
Yep.
Like a heater.
So on the safe heat, Sylvia, how much are those a can?
Right now on Amazon, I buy them by 12. They went up.
Yeah, like everything.
I buy them by, most of them you have to buy them by a 12 pack.
Mm-hmm.
12 cans, and I think when I bought them they were 24, but they did go up in price.
Mm-hmm.
The safe heat, and but they are cheaper than my buddy heater. The one pound can, 1 pound, 16 ounce for my buddy heater. They've gone for just 4. You're looking at $40 now. They used to be a lot lower than that. But now, and I'm getting to where this would be my best bet if something should happen and no electricity or anything like that.
Yeah.
Very good.
So that's something I wanted to share with y'all is you can get it on Patriot Supply. Right now they're on sale for $89 if you're interested in getting yourself one. No, I'm not getting nothing for that.
Yep. No,
but
I haven't done
like
it for a while.
Amazon, you're gonna pay regular price. I think it's $129 on Amazon right now. They finally have these on Amazon. So, but go to My Patriot Supply. It's a lot cheaper. They got it on sale, and I paid mine in increments. I paid them, I think 5 payments, and I had it paid off.
Yep.
Wow.
But at that time I bought it, it was $139 because I just found out about it. And they just came out with the unit.
Wow. Awesome.
Never seen anything like it.
No.
I know, isn't it cool? It is neat though. It really is neat, and it's safe to use indoors. I've already cooked on it. I've already used it as a heater. You got to be careful with the candle part because when you pull this thing out, it will rot those candles. So that's kind of, but the safe heat, they don't do that. So you do have, if you use candles with it, you got to be really careful when you pull the drawer out because it'll tip them over, and that isn't safe. I just wanted to see if it would work. I just wanted to see if it would work. So I'm happy to have it. I'm glad I have it, and you can put this thing a certain way where you can travel with it. Put it in your car if you had to go.
Yeah.
And not only is it a heater, you can also cook on it. And that's what I like too.
Yeah.
It does both.
Because you got to eat.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you, sister. So,
It is. Yeah.
Provident Prepper and Sweet Christian Family. Here's the link to that video, Indoor Emergency Cooking. So, Alicia, is that the same unit that Sylvia's showing?
Yes, that's the same unit. Yes, Provident Prepper. That's where I found out about this, was through that channel.
Yep. Awesome.
Yep. That is where I found out about it, was through them, through that channel.
Very good. Awesome. Anybody else want to come up and share? I know
Yes.
Rick has been waiting for me to come on, and
yeah, it's for that unit, Alicia. Sure is.
I had first purposely made sure that we were back from Bangor in time so that could be on tonight.
Excuse me, my nose is kind of running. It's been chilly in here.
Well, we're high pollen today, and as soon as I got up this morning, I knew it. Can you see my question, Jim, for Sylvia?
No.
What was it? What question was it? Let me see if I can.
I guess you
Provident Press, a Sweet Christian. Yeah, they are a Christian family. Here's the link to the video. Indoor emergency. Right. Where's the link at though? I don't see the link.
I don't.
You can't see it on.
I'm not a moderator. I really don't want to be a moderator on any channel right now, so I can't share the link.
Yeah, you can't share a link unless you're a moderator.
Right, and I don't want to be. I don't want to be a moderator on any channel.
Oh, good, Rick. That would be nice.
I don't see the question, Alicia.
Okay, Rick. Very good. Thank you. And Sister Sarah is here too. Let me share. I got to see what she's going by. I know she was here at the very beginning.
I don't see Alicia's question at all.
I didn't either. I don't know. See what Sarah here. Sarah and her husband came up here and purchased 3 of the Rex bunnies. Now, I didn't realize that she had been following the channel for quite a while. But anyways, they are very much into being prepared. And we talked quite a bit while they were here, her and her husband. We talked quite a bit about all kinds of things, and it was great. And I had mentioned the possibility of her coming up and being part of the live, both her and her husband. I don't know if they're at that point yet. A lot of people, they get nervous with cameras, and Leanna,
I hate them.
she would not let me have her in any of the videos whatsoever. And then we started doing some of the cooking things, and she got a little more comfortable. Yeah, you get comfortable with it.
Alicia, I don't like the alcohol gel. To me, it gets out of hand. I prefer the alcohol. I got it right here by my bed. I prefer the alcohol stove. And you can use the 91% alcohol. Yeah, it'll give off a little bit of a smoke or smell or whatever. Well, hang on. And I use a couple of these, which I only have one. I had more than one, but I gave some away. You know me, I like to give alcohol stove, put alcohol in it, and because it's in a container, I believe you could use it with this, but the flame is a little bit higher than the safe heat. I prefer not to use this indoors because of the flame can get, even though this one has a automatic damper with it, that you can control the flame, but I still prefer not to use this indoors. I prefer to use it outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a small stove that holds the can. What is the can heat made of for your cooker? Safe heat. It's called safe heat. They use it in we have a wedding chapel here in my small little town, and there's a ballroom in the back of the wedding chapel, and the receptions are there, and they have this long table, and they use those safe heats underneath the food to keep it warm. That's what is used for this heater I showed you.
Chamfer dishes. Yeah. Yeah. Liz says we would love to do that. I don't have a webcam right now for my desktop, but we'll remedy that for next time. Good. Awesome. I look forward to that. They have rabbits. I know they've got cows. They moved to Maine. And because I love meeting new people from Maine, we're going to visit them at some point when things start slowing down a little bit and we can get away for a day. I'd love to go and visit. So many people I'd like to go and visit.
Me? I live too far. I live too far, Jim.
Skipping and jump down to Louisiana.
I'd love to, though.
Actually,
yeah.
The town that Sarah and her husband are from is one of the towns that I worked at a very, very large, I'm not going to mention the name of the town, but anyways, a large dairy farm that I used to work at. So it's nice to get over that way. And it's where I bought the 3 original, actually satin. It's where we bought our first 3 bunnies.
That's where it all started.
So that'll be an exciting trip.
Yeah. I have other things to cook with inside the house that's safe, but I don't want to tell you everything I have.
Yeah.
But I just thought the Vista heater is that's something I think is affordable right now for everybody.
Well, in emergency situations, especially.
Yeah.
How old is that?
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah, here comes Rick.
6?
Yeah, I'm going to say about 6 years old. Here's Rick.
Well, I don't know how old she was when we met her.
Hello, Rick.
Hi, Rick.
Hi.
Good to see
Rick.
I'm trying to get rid of some of this bright white here. It's just, I think it's the LED light that I have. Everything makes everything really bright, really white.
Yeah. No, it looks fine. Fine. You could use your cell phone and do a video we did with a campfire. Cell phone, as far as StreamYard, can be kind of iffy, and especially if you don't have a good signal. You really need a good signal for a cell phone. I had thought about doing it out in the bunny barn to do some lives, and it just isn't enough signal to do that.
Well, I'm going to leave the studio and let some other people come up. That's all I wanted to share with y'all.
Well, Sylvia, thank you much.
I'll be back in the chat room.
Awesome. I had never heard of that, so thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Oh, I'm not sure if I'll be here Friday or not for the Bible study. Daddy has his surgery Thursday, so I'm not sure if they'll need me over there or not. So I got to play that by ear.
Yeah.
But I'm doing my work.
All right.
Awesome.
Love y'all. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hey, Rick.
How's Rick doing?
Doing pretty good. Getting over a cold that our grandson gave both of us.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he wanted to share his cold with us, I guess.
Oh.
I stayed home yesterday from work. Went in today for a little while. Feeling better.
Good. The weather hasn't played really good for colds and that kind of stuff either. So damp.
Yeah.
Now we're getting the cold and the pollen.
Yeah. And it's been a crazy year weather-wise.
Yeah.
It's just nothing but rain since April.
I know. Crazy. I know you've put a few videos up and I've meant to go over. I haven't been there yet.
Fine.
I will.
That's fine. Now that I went back to work, I haven't had much time for YouTube myself. So
Yeah.
I've got a long list of videos to put out. They're all sitting, on the computer waiting to be processed.
Oh, really? Well, you're doing better than I am then.
I caught up on a few.
As far as the lives, I mean, the lives are one thing. I mean, with the sermon messages, I have to prepare, but doing the videos like with the rabbits or gardens and stuff, I mean, it takes time, and I haven't got anything ready.
Yeah.
Nothing ready.
Yeah. I usually leave for work around 6:45 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And my phone always dings at 7 o'clock, and that's when your live goes on.
Oh, yeah.
So I hear that ding. Oh, Jim's going live. It's 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Yep. Now, what do you use for heat, Rick?
We have 3 sources of heat.
Okay.
So there's oil, which was our primary source, but as of last winter, we made that our supplemental heat. So I bought a pellet stove that went into it's an insert, so it's in our fireplace in our living room.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially our main source of heat. And then we have 2 wood stoves that are in the L of the house. So there's the kitchen off the living room. There's the kitchen in the L, and then a family room.
Okay.
So we have a wood stove in each of those rooms, the kitchen and the family room. The one in the kitchen we only use as a backup, as an emergency stove. It's not all that airtight. It's not all that good. It's low quality. It was here when we bought the house, so I use it in cases of emergency if the power goes out. I will be replacing that maybe next year. So we have the pellet. That's our primary source of heat, and that heats the main part of the house. And then the 2 wood stoves in the L, and then the oil as a supplemental. So actually had my next video coming out. I was just starting to work on it, just starting to put it together. It's me stacking the 3 cords of firewood and the 3 tons of pellets.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a reason why I asked that. And yes, we did Happy Campers.
Very much.
Yeah. Our daughter and her boyfriend. Very good meal, good conversation. And so, no, that was nice. No, the reason why I brought that up is for those that are in the southern states, just to kind of give you an idea of
What we go through.
up here in New England, and especially for those that do burn firewood, it's a process. There's some that go through 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cords of wood, and that's a lot of wood. It has to be cut, has to be split, stacked usually, so it's under cover. Plus the harvesting and stuff. So that's why I was wondering what you did use.
Yeah. The 3 cords gets me through the winter, and I buy that all cut and split. So they drop it off, and I just stack it. And I've often thought about getting the log lengths and just cutting them and splitting it myself, but that's a lot of work. And the discount on the price isn't all that much. So for a few $100s more, I can get it all cut and split.
Right.
Save me, if I was to cut and split 3 cords of firewood, I don't know, what would that take? Many days. It would probably take me months to get that done myself. So that's a lot of labor and a lot of my time for a few $100s in savings. It's great for exercise, and I'm thinking about doing it just for the exercise, for a workout. But even then, I don't think I would get 3 cords and cut and split all that. Maybe a cord a year would be enough.
Yeah, he's in New Hampshire. Rick, Alicia wants to know how easy is it to install a pellet stove?
It was very easy for me. I wasn't looking at the chat here. Oh, there it is. Is it how easy? Is it easy? Well, it was very easy for me because I hired a company to do it. The installation of the stove really isn't that difficult. There's the weight that's involved. So there were 2 guys that hauled it in and put it into the fireplace. The tricky part was getting up on the roof and running the liner down. And I don't really get up on the roofs anymore. So that was really why I hired it was the guys where I bought the pellet stove. So that company has a crew and they send their crew out. So I paid just to have it installed. They can get it done in a day. There's 2 of them. I have to round up some help to haul the pellet stove in and set it all up and get up on the roof and run the liner down. It'd probably take me more than a day to do all that myself. So it was worth it for me to pay the extra money to have them do it. That's a fireplace insert stove. The freestanding ones are easier. You just have to drill a hole in the wall and run the exhaust flue out the wall. But you have to know what you're doing there. You don't want to burn the house down.
Yeah.
But as far as installing the pellet stove, if it's a freestanding one, you just haul it in and set it on the floor. Make sure you have a fireproof floor underneath it.
Right. I had thought about doing something like that too. And then I've thought about the heat pump. The only thing with the heat pump, I mean, we get such frigid temperatures here, and they say once it goes down to a certain amount, they don't put out much. But I know oil. I called up about a week ago, and it was what, 4 something, wasn't it?
I think so.
Or just, yeah, I think it was right around $4 a gallon.
Yeah.
I normally get it in August or September, and we missed it. So I forgot how much it had gone up. It was a lot. 40 cents, I think, they had gone up in a month.
Yeah.
So.
Hi, Jay.
I used to pre-buy my oil, and I would pay for the season all at once in June or July for the upcoming winter season. And I go through about 1,000 gallons a year.
Yeah.
So that would be $4,000, and that's why I bought that pellet stove, because the pellet cost is about half of the oil. So in a year or two, I'll pay for that pellet stove, the cost of the pellet stove and the pellets. I break even. I figured I was going to break even like this winter. I would break even about halfway through the winter, and then I'm ahead of the game after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did want to address Alicia's other questions. She asked, would she need to have a chimney sweep? And I don't really know. I have a chimney sweep coming in next week to clean my wood stove pipes. And I asked him to do the pellet stove too. I'm guessing that would have to be cleaned out. Years ago, I would climb up on the roof myself and clean the wood stove pipes. But as I said, I don't climb up on roofs anymore. And then I would have friends and my son or his friends do it. There's really nobody around this year that I would want to climb up on the roof.
Right.
And my friends are getting older too. So I just figured I'll hire a pro. They're insured. Let them get up on the roof. It's probably not going to cost me much. I don't know, maybe a couple $100.
Yeah.
Let them get up there and clean it. So he didn't say if he had to clean the pellet pipe or not. But I'll know in another week.
Yeah.
And then she asked, is it safer than using the fireplace? And does it give off smoke? So yeah, the pellet stove is safer than using the fireplace for a couple of reasons. The pellet stove is enclosed, so the fire is inside, just like a wood stove. It's inside the metal box. So it's two things with the fireplace. The fire itself is out, in the open, even though it's in the fireplace, it's still open, so sparks can come out and hit the floor. But you have to make sure that the chimney liner where the smoke goes up doesn't have any cracks, because that can start a fire. So that's one issue. With the pellet stove, as I said, the fire is inside the metal box, and then there's a metal liner that goes up through the existing chimney. So there's far less chance for a fire with the pellet stove compared to an open fire in the fireplace. And the other thing is, with the fireplace, you get that heat right around the fireplace, but it's really sucking heat out of the house because it causes a draft. So it sucks all of the heat out through the fireplace and up the chimney and out the house.
Yeah.
Where the pellet stove doesn't do that. It's in an enclosed box, so it throws off the heat rather than sucking all the air and the heat out of the house.
Yep.
So those are the advantages to the pellet stove. And it doesn't give off any smoke. You might get a little bit if you open the door, and it does get a little dusty. And I'm thinking about buying a vacuum cleaner of some type. So I clean the stove usually every Saturday or Sunday to shut the pellet stove, to shut that down, let it cool down, and we go in there and clean it out. But so we're brushing everything off, and the pellets burn down to a very fine dust. And once that door is open, you're trying to brush everything out, clean it all up. The dust is kind of blowing out the door and getting blown around in the house. So I'm thinking of getting some kind of little vacuum cleaner and just vacuum clean it out so we don't get all the dust in the house.
Yeah. Very good.
Good questions.
Yep. Happy campers. Our gas heater does not need electric to heat. It does have a fan. You got to plug it in. Yep. Happy campers. Do you have solar there? Well, they got the generator. Well, they're waiting for the generators to come. They are, for the most part, off grid. Happy campers. They're in Maine. They're southern Maine. In fact, we'll be meeting in Augusta here in about a week. And if the fire gets out of control, throw beach sand on it.
There.
Yeah. Jay texted me yesterday, I think it was. Their weather has been a little bit different than what they've been used to down in Florida. They've cooled down. That, and they've gotten some rain. Yeah, I know, Jay. I have a fire blanket for that, Brother Jay.
So it cooled down in Florida, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cooled down to a frigid 70 degrees.
I was thinking he was talking about 50s. Maybe he was
Really?
on ocean this morning.
Wow.
That's cool for Florida.
Yeah.
But I know in April, actually probably March, they were talking about triple digits, and it's goodness gracious. We were still freezing up here. No sun.
Back in the mid 90s, I went to Florida in June. I'll never do that again. And that was necessary because my mother-in-law was coming to live with us. So my wife went down there and packed up. She had a mobile home in Fort Myers. So my wife went down for several days, packed everything up, boxed everything up. She came back. I flew down the next day and rented a U-Haul and packed everything into the U-Haul to bring it back to our house.
Yeah.
So that was in June. I got off the plane in the Fort Myers airport and walked outside. And it was probably about 9 o'clock at night, and the humidity It
Yeah.
was even at 9 o'clock at night was incredible.
Yeah.
So I got into the taxi. I went to the mobile home, cranked up the AC till the next morning, and then it was early the next morning, 7 or 8 o'clock. I think one of the neighbors. I got to the U-Haul somehow. I think it was one of the neighbors. It was already prearranged. One of the neighbors, my mother-in-law's neighbors, picked me up and drove me to the U-Haul dealer. Got in the U-Haul, cranked up the AC, got to the trailer, backed it up. I worked until noontime, and I hustled. And of course, the doors are open, so I couldn't really get any cool air in the mobile home. So I was sweltering, trying to load up the trailer or the U-Haul. Took a quick break, about a 15-minute break around noontime for lunch. I finished up around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I jumped in the shower, cooled off. And then before I got in the shower, I started up the U-Haul, turned on the AC. I took my quick shower, cooled down, got dressed, locked up the mobile home, got in the U-Haul and left.
Yeah.
It was just too hot and muggy for me in Florida in June.
And see, that's the thing. Up here, we're still in usually June, we're still in the cooler weather and drier temperatures. And then you go down to Florida and you've got the heat plus the humidity. Our bodies aren't used to that.
Yeah.
And yet somebody come from down there up here and they'd be freezing.
Yeah.
They'd be freezing because it's just such a difference.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we went to Florida one time in January.
Mm.
And we were young. I don't know, we early 20s, mid 20s, something like that. Went to Florida and it was January, about 65 degrees, 60 degrees. And we're out at the beach, in shorts and having fun. And somebody came along and said, "Hi, a couple of snowbirds," or something to that effect. And I said, "Yeah, how do you know?" He said, "Because the natives don't go to the beach when it's 60 degrees.
I could just imagine somebody from Florida coming up and helping me do docks and
Oh my gosh.
Memorial Weekend on Scudic Lake, Springfed Lake, or taking them out in October. Goodness.
Yeah.
But no, it's amazing, the difference in the climate from New England down to Florida or Texas. I can remember in March going down, well, I went with another guy. We kind of team drove. And we got down to Texas to, I think it was Hines. And loading that up, and goodness gracious, I sweat bullets. In March, I just wasn't used to that kind of heat.
Yeah.
Now we come up through DC, going through the Beltway, major snowstorm. And then we had all kinds of stops on the way back up once we got to Maine. Just amazing in a month's time that I was out there, the different climates that we had. In fact, we were in Louisiana too, Sylvia. In fact, we hit Iowa, we were in Idaho, went all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, we're thinking about buying an RV and doing some traveling. One of the things I want to do is drive what's left of Route 66.
Mm-hmm.
Start in Chicago and go out to California.
That'd be a fun trip.
Never been out to the Southwest. I've been as far as Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
That's as far west as I've been. I'd really like to see the Rockies and southwestern states. We better plan it soon because we're running out of time. It's something I wanted to do all my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so true, Jay. So true. When I was in the service, and I went through basic and AIT at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and it was humid. And then my first permanent duty station was in Oklahoma, Fort Sill. And one of the big things that got in November, and one of the big questions I had is, what's the weather like in the wintertime? Oh, never get above 30, go below 30 degrees. Yeah, right. I called home Christmas Eve, and at Sill, we were either 27 or 28 below, and Maine was a degree different.
Wow.
And of course, in Oklahoma, it was so flat, so you get all the wind.
Yeah. Now, Fort Sill, is that the one in Lawton, Oklahoma?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, I didn't care for that community at all.
Yeah.
I almost got mugged right out. Right, I just got out the bus and into a motel or hotel. I almost got mugged.
Huh.
No, I didn't care for a lot.
Why almost?
It didn't happen.
Okay.
It didn't happen. We'll leave it there.
Is that what's his name? That looks like what's his face?
Oh, okay.
And Chronicle.
Nope.
That's him?
No.
Oh.
Being asked a bunch of questions.
I've only been to New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
Wow.
New Hampshire's a pretty state. I love New Hampshire. And I like Vermont's a pretty state too.
Yeah. I see Vermont every day. That's where I work now, is in White River Junction.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. Which is the first town over the river from New Hampshire.
Yep.
It's about an hour ride for me.
Yeah. My mom and dad were born in Charlestown, New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
So that's not too far away from there.
Yeah.
Leanna was born way up in the northern part of New Hampshire,
Oh, yeah.
right on the first Connecticut Lake.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to Pittsburgh and up to the Canadian border last year, about this time, maybe September.
Yeah.
So
In Pittsburgh.
we used to have a lot of moose on our property. And as you probably know, they're dying off from all the ticks. So my wife was complaining last year that she hadn't seen any moose and wanted to see a moose. And it was a Sunday. We didn't really have anything going on. So I said, all right, well, we'll go in the Mustang, put the top down. We'll take a ride in the Mustang. It's a nice sunny day. We'll take a ride in the Mustang. We'll go up to Moose Alley, what they call Moose Alley, which is where most of the moose are up around Pittsburgh and Colebrook. So we'll take a ride up to Moose Alley, but there's no guarantee that we're going to see a moose. So we took the day and drove up to Pittsburgh, went all the way up to the Canadian border, and just had a nice day. Came back, never saw a moose. So I said, now, because we took this long trip, within a few days, we're going to see a moose on our property. Well, we didn't see it on our property, but we saw it right down the road. We had to go to the store one day. So this is probably 3 or 4 days later, after we'd gone to Pittsburgh, and we had gone to the grocery store or something. We were coming home. We're about a mile from home, and here comes this moose trotting across the road right in front of us. I said, see, I told you we'd see a moose here.
That's funny.
There's been a lot of people that have come to visit us and, we want to see a moose. We want to see a moose. Well, going up Route 11, quite often you head over by the lakes and there'll be moose in there. And hardly ever when I'll take somebody up there, we'll see one.
Yeah.
Now, Ben's boys, when they went up with me, they helped me take docks out or put docks in one year. And we saw a couple of them. We saw a cow and a calf right there where we had to turn for the lake, right nice swampy area. When Leanna and I would go fishing, of course, it was pretty much dusk when we come off the lake. And almost always when we left that road onto 11, we'd see a moose cross the road. He sees moose all the time in Colorado. Very good. Happy Camper has always wanted to travel to see different states. Never had the money to.
I don't think the moose out west, I don't think they've been affected by the ticks like they have been here.
Hmm.
The moose here, they'll have thousands and thousands of ticks on them. When they first started getting infested with ticks, when the moose first started getting infested with ticks, and this was 20 years ago or so, a neighbor of mine was a fish and game official, and he said, if you see a dead moose, don't approach it, because when they die, the ticks all jump off and land on the ground. And they'll jump on you if you get too close. So he said, just stay away from the moose. If you see them dead in the woods or anywhere, just stay away.
Jay, he is from New Hampshire. This is from New Hampshire.
Neighbor.
Yeah. Jay is Kane's Life for Kane's Life too. He is down in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got it here in Maine. In fact, I was reading a story just a couple days ago about a deer that the cops had to put down. Its face was purple. Actually, they weren't sure exactly what it was that happened to this. There was all kinds of things wrong with it. So, in Maine, yeah, I don't know where, but it was in Maine. Yeah. No, I mean, signs of the times. It's not good.
Yeah.
Be careful. In fact, there is one area in Maine where they tell you not to hunt and do not eat deer from there. Oh, I can't remember where that was. Last year they were putting warnings out, and that had something to do with something that was dumped into the soil. So.
Oh, that's too bad. You had asked earlier toward the beginning of the live about things people were doing for preparation. So I've got a list here, a to-do list.
Yep.
I'm taking the week of October 30th off. So a week and a half, 2 weeks from now. I'm taking that week off, taking a vacation week, so I can get ready for winter, because I'm so far behind schedule because of all the rain. I'm still trying to do things that I was supposed to be doing back in June. I'm taking the week off and getting everything ready for winter. And one of the things I want to do is repair a well I have. Must be 8 o'clock. So I have to repair a well that we have out in the backyard. It's out in our brook. It's been there. It was there before we bought the property, but it's a concrete well that somebody put in there probably 40 years ago, I'm guessing, and ran a line through the cellar wall. It's a stone wall into the cellar wall.
Mm-hmm.
So you have water anytime you need it. But it hasn't been working the last few years. I think it's probably silted in. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that line is probably silted in because it was just a gravity feed thing. And I'm not quite sure how that well works. I think what they did is they just set it down into the brook, and then the water came in maybe over the top of the concrete cylinder, or it was just maybe groundwater. I'm not sure. I've never opened it up to look at it.
Yeah.
Had water coming into the cellar, and there was a little spigot there to turn it off. So if I needed water, if we lost power, I could just open that up and have fresh spring-fed water.
Yeah.
But in the last few years, it hasn't worked. So I'm going to rent a snake and snake out the line going all the way out to the well and see if that fixes it. So I want to have that water ready in case we lose power.
Right. Jay, a brook is like a small stream. I know this. No, I've had that question asked a lot of times before. Um, oh, different places where I've been. You know, a brook. I mean, it
They're
could
not
be
very
like
big.
that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's not a river. A stream. Some people will call something little like that a stream. It's just a small stream.
Yep. Stream or creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Twin Brook Acres. How big are the brooks that go through your property, brother?
The front one, I call it the front one, the one they're both behind the house, but it's the one closest to the house, is about what you described. It's only 3 feet wide, maybe a foot or 2 feet deep.
Yeah.
In normal times. But in the spring runoff, that's when all the snow melts. In the spring runoff, or if we have heavy rain, it turns into a
river.
raging river. That thing really picks up steam because it's water coming down the mountain. I'm about halfway down the mountain, so the water just picks up steam coming down that mountain. It'll clear out huge logs if they're across the brook somewhere. It'll clear out logs and bring them downstream. The back brook or back stream is wider. That's probably, depending on where you look at it, it's anywhere from probably 8 feet to 12 feet, maybe 15 feet wide, but it's not as deep usually. It's usually just a few inches deep. You can walk across it easily. There are some deep spots, but it's generally much wider and much shallower.
Right.
The back one usually goes dry. It might just have a little trickle in the summertime, but it generally goes dry in the summertime.
Yeah. The river that we've got, Pleasant River, which flows 2 blocks back, that usually will get maybe that deep during the summer when we get into the dry. This year, there has been a lot of water all year.
Yeah.
All year.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no shortage of water in those 2 streams, 2 brooks this year. Happy Camperville said that it probably needs a new point put in, and that could be. But like I said, I never opened it up, so I'm not sure if it's just a gravity fed thing or if it's point driven. I don't know. But I may just open it up. There's just a concrete cover on it. So you just may open it up with my tractor with the loader, just lift that cover up and look inside. And it's probably a good idea to look inside anyway, see what's in there, if there's any dead rodents or anything in there, before I repair it.
Jay, there is a place. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Welcome back, Sylvia. I'll look this place up and I'll send you the link so you can see it for deer. I don't know if they do moose right now. I know they have deer. In fact, a while back, I think I had sent you a picture of red deer. That's what they raise on their property. And they allow people to come in and hunt. It's not cheap. Not cheap at all.
Little Nugget said that you have to watch the deer at night. Yeah, we have plenty of deer here. Bears. The bears are hard to see at night because they're black. But as you know, the moose especially are far more dangerous, and they're harder to see because they're up high. Yeah. I almost hit one night coming down the road, and my headlights just picked up something. I could see something up ahead on the road. It looked like 4 little animals running across the road. It was the hoofs of the moose, but I couldn't see the rest of the moose. Yeah. So fortunately, I slowed down, and then as they got closer, I could see the rest of the moose. But a lot of people just, they don't slow down, they don't see it, and people die. A lot of people die from moose collisions.
Well, you take a smaller car. I mean, it's going to take the top of that car right off.
Yeah, because they're so tall.
They're so tall, and those cars are so small.
Yeah.
Yep. But I'm hearing a lot of reports about the moose charging. You know, well, remember, we used to go to this auction when we first bought the house. In fact, we furnished this house with a lot of stuff that we bought at the auction. And there was one night we were coming back. It was probably 1 o'clock in the morning. And we get by this one place, and there was a moose. And he's trotting up the road. So we stayed back. I had the truck then. We stayed back, and we're just putting along. And
For
he just,
miles.
yeah, for probably a good mile. And then he stopped, and he looked at us. I was like, oh, no. But he did. He finally went up a little ways, and he veered off the road. And I gave the truck a drink.
I was nervous.
Yeah.
That was scary.
I had to do that one time at night. It wasn't a mile, it was maybe a quarter of a mile. I was in a little Chevy Tracker, which is like a little Jeep. And Leanna, you might know where the town of Benton is in New Hampshire. So I was working in Benton, and I was going home. And I was going out through what's known as the Benton Flats. It's just a long, straight, flat road, no hills or anything. And it was dark out. About this time of year, it was dark. It was probably 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. So I thought, well, I better go slow because there's always a lot of moose here. Fortunately, I was going pretty slow. And a moose came out right in front of my car, this little tiny Geo Tracker or Chevy Tracker, whatever it was, ran right out in front of me. So I had to hit the brakes, and I turned the wheel and kind of slid sideways. And then I straightened it back out. And there was a second one. So it was a bull and a cow, male and a female.
Oh,
So the bull ran out first. That's when I turned. And then I straightened out, and there was the cow running in front of me. So I cut the wheel back again, straightened it back out. And then they ran down the road right in front of me.
Yeah.
So I did the same thing as you. I just kind of trudged along behind them and waited for them to get off the road. And it was probably a quarter of a mile, and then they ran off into the woods somewhere.
yeah.
Well, with deer, you know, they usually see their eyes, you see the reflection of their eyes. But moose, where they're up so high, you know, and they're dark. So,
Like this.
no, usually when I'm driving at night, and I don't care for driving at night anymore. I used to love it. I would prefer driving at night than I would, especially hauling stuff. But I mean, my eyes would just keep dancing back and forth on both sides of the road. But they do here. In fact, they'll jump over snowbanks. You'll be driving along, and you know snowbanks are quite a few feet high. And they'll come right up over, and bam, right in the middle of the road, right in front of you.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah, there was one winter, it was about 15 years ago. We had a lot of snow that year. And I went over the mountain from Woodstock, New Hampshire, over to Warren, New Hampshire. Came down the mountain to the valley, and the snow was about 6 feet deep. The windrows, the snow banks were probably about 12 feet high.
Yeah.
And it came down the bottom of the hill, and there was a cow and a bull, two moose standing in the road. And I think they did that just to get out of the snow. So I stopped quite a ways back from them. I just stopped and let them figure out what they wanted to do. And the bull, it was funny. I wish I got a video of it. He kept looking at me and looking back over at the trees and at the side of the road. Kept looking back like, should I stand here or should I go back into the woods? Do I have to go back into that snow? And he must have looked back and forth 5 or 6 times. I was laughing. I was wishing I had a video camera. he kept looking back and forth. Finally, he kind of turned and trudged off slowly. Like, I guess I've got to go back into the snow. We went off over the 12-foot high snowbank, and then the cow stood there for another 30 seconds or so and did the same thing. Like, do I go with him or do I stay here in the road? And she finally ran off and followed him.
What was Route 26? Was it 26 going up towards northern New Hampshire that we went?
Yeah.
What town was the rubber factory?
The rubber factory?
Yeah, they call it that. The balsams. You must know where the balsams are.
Oh,
Yeah.
I used to hate going up there, and then it
Oh,
just
that
goes
hill.
like that. Oh, I didn't like that hill. And almost every time that we would go, it was usually Christmas time. We go to visit our mom and dad, and never failed it would snow. And I didn't like that. The very first time we went, I had an older Dodge van that was an extended van, and I mean, you go up, and then it's just boom,
Yeah, you
you're
can't
going
see the road
down.
anymore.
Boy, I tell you, you leave your stomach right there.
I warned you.
I was probably creeping about 15, 20 because it was snowing, and we were loaded. I had a whole bunch of craft stuff in there. We were doing crafts hard at that time. Boom.
It was probably rear wheel drive, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
We had the weight in it. I mean, like I said, we were doing crafts pretty hard at that time, but still, I wasn't ready for that.
A little nugget lived in a town called Benton.
Benton, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah. That's one state I haven't been to that I'd like to visit, Louisiana.
That's right. I don't remember what town it was, but we picked up on that trip. We had picked up rolls of paper. I mean, huge rolls.
Yeah.
Huge rolls. Those went down to Texas.
Was that in Berlin, maybe, at the paper mill?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
This goes back, goodness, probably 1990.
Yeah. There was a big paper mill in Berlin, New Hampshire, another one in Gorham, New Hampshire, I think, if I remember correctly. There was one in Lincoln, New Hampshire. They're all gone now.
Yeah, we've lost a lot of them here in Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Great Northern, which is about an hour north of us. That was a big plant. My dad had started a business, and they kept them going. He was supplying them with plumbing parts, and paper machine number 5. He completely all the plumbing that went into that he supplied. So
Yeah.
but that's gone.
Well, we lived for about a year. We lived about a block or two from a paper mill.
Ew.
Oh man, when the wind blew the wrong way, it stunk so bad.
Yeah.
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 And there was no getting away from it. You couldn't really shut the windows or anything. You had to live with the smell till the wind changed direction.
Yeah. There's a paper company in Lincoln, and we used to call it Stinking Lincoln.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. Oh, that sulfur smell. Hoo, hoo, hoo.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It really smelled like cabbage and broccoli cooking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't come in the summer to Louisiana. No, I don't plan to.
No. Hot and humid.
Yeah.
Mexico, Rumford, Mexico. There was a paper mill there too. That's still there, but I don't know what they're doing. Well, that goes into the paper, but I don't know. I think they sold, but I don't know if they're doing paper now or not. No, paper companies have really taken a big hit.
Yeah, I don't know if they're making the paper in China now, or
Probably.
yeah, or if it's somewhere else in the country.
Mm.
They're still making paper. I just don't know where it's being made now.
Yeah.
Probably China. That's where everything's made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the other things I have planned on my to-do list for preparation, I've got to trim my apple tree. That had been let go for many, many years. So I've done a couple of trimmings, a little bit each year. Didn't do it this year.
Now you did that in the fall?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I thought
Well, years ago I would trim in the fall, and then the last heavy prunings I did, I think were summertime maybe or springtime. I can't remember now. Maybe springtime. Okay. But many years ago, when I was a kid, we had a big Macintosh apple tree, and we trimmed that in the fall.
Yeah.
And always came back.
I thought on apple trees that was supposed to be done in the springtime, actually February, Marchish.
Oh.
Just before the sap starts going down.
Yeah. Well, maybe like.
God bless you.
Night.
Good night. Well, maybe they're like blueberry bushes, because I trim my blueberry bushes or prune them in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I want to get the apple tree trimmed. I've got a branch that's broken and hanging down. I want to get that off. There's a couple of dead branches. Trim my grapes back. The last few years, we haven't had any luck with the grapes. There's 2 or 3 years where we had a fungus on them.
Okay.
So we get a lot of grapes, but then they just shrivel up from the fungus. Yeah. This year, we didn't have any grapes at all. I think it was probably due to the weather. But I want to trim everything back, take all the trimmings and get rid of them, put them out in the woods somewhere, and hopefully get rid of any fungus that's still on the plants. Yeah. What was the other?
Grapes do you have, Rick?
What's that?
What kind of grapes do you have?
My wife planted them a long time ago. I don't know for sure. I think she planted 2 different types. I think one is Concord, and I don't know what the other one is.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. There was something else I wanted to do too. There's a whole long list here, and I'll be adding to it. It's just all kinds of stuff.
Never ending.
Dig a ditch for flood control purposes. My neighbor wants me to pull up some big stones in her dooryard, in her driveway. Because they hit them all the time with their snowplow on their truck.
Yeah.
So she wants me to dig those up and get them out of there. No, I go in with my tractor and my rear snowblower. I go in and clear out the first 30 feet or so of their driveway. Because they're across the street, and we're both at the bottom of the hill.
Right.
And it's hard for them to go out with their truck and plow, because now they're sideways, perpendicular in the road. If anybody comes down the hill too fast, they're going to get clobbered. So I can get in and out of there pretty quickly and easily with my tractor. So I go in and clear about 30 feet in for them, and then they can just do the rest with their truck and their plow. But way up at the top is where they park. They've got all these big boulders sticking out of the dirt, and they hit them with their plow. So she asked me to come in with my tractor and my backhoe and take those out. Yeah. So that's on my list. So I've got to get the ditch dug. It's a flood control ditch on my property. Get that dug with my backhoe. So I'll be putting that on sometime soon. Dig that ditch and then pull their stones out. Then I'll take the backhoe back off the tractor and put the snowblower on. Yeah. So it's a rush, a mad rush to beat the snow, beat Mr. Winter.
Yeah. Yeah. For those that haven't watched Rick's channel, I know some of the last videos that I watched, he was doing some ditching and and putting in berms to help prevent some of the erosion that he had going on there.
Yeah, is that the one that
Videos that I had seen.
is that the one from a month or two ago?
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
You cut a bunch of trees down, and then you were filling in that area to try to.
Yeah, that was the front end of an existing ditch.
Mhm.
And the prior owner had that ditch put in because the water comes down the hill.
Right.
As you go past my house, go uphill, going up the mountain. So water would come down that hill and run across the yard.
Mhm.
So the prior owner put in the ditch. But for whatever reason, I don't know why they did it. The guy they hired, who was actually the road agent for the town, he dead-ended the back end of the ditch. And then the front end just stopped and everything leveled off. So if that ditch filled up with water, it would run out the front end and across the yard.
Yeah.
So that's why we were supposed to get the heavy rain back in July that flooded Vermont. We didn't really get it bad here, but the next parcel up, somebody bought and they cleared it to build a house on it. And ever since that land was cleared, we've really been hit hard with water coming down that hill because it's not getting absorbed. It's just running off and running down the hill. So I built that berm to hold the water back. And so what I want to do is go out with my tractor, put the backhoe on it, go out and dig that ditch, the back end of it, dig that ditch all the way out to the brook, to the stream. So the water has somewhere to go other than flooding the yard. And then I'll leave that berm that I built as a temporary stop. I'll leave that at the front end. So the water has nowhere to go at the front end. So it's got to go out the back end and into the brook.
Yeah, where it belongs.
Yep.
Yeah. That's one thing I don't have a problem here with water. I mean, we're flat, so sandy. I mean, it's nothing but sand here. When I dug the ditch, well, me and another guy, we dug the ditch from the house to where the bunny barn is, and we went, I think it was 3 feet down to bury my electric wire, and we had that done in no time.
Yeah, I was surprised.
No rocks whatsoever.
Oh, I think we missed Happy Camperville. Looks like they left.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And I probably should get going too. I've got a sermon for tomorrow night, and I still got to do apple treats.
Okay. Well,
The kids have any apples? Yeah. The kids have any bunnies now?
no.
No.
The male and female we had, we let free range for a while, and the male got picked off first by something.
Yeah.
We heard it one night. I was going to sleep and I heard this loud screaming, so something came and took it. I ran out, but all I saw was fur flying around. So something came and took the male first, and then the female lasted another year or so, maybe 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And then something grabbed her one day. All of the litters, the babies were given away to friends and neighbors. So the last batch that we had, the neighbor up the road, I think she took every one of the babies.
Yeah.
And then she was breeding them.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah. So yeah, no bunnies here now.
I've got 2 does that I'm hoping to get. But they've got to sex them. A guy that I sold a New Zealand, beautiful New Zealand doe to, he was breeding for blue New Zealands. So he had a litter this spring, or actually not that long ago. There's blues and there's blacks, so I'll probably get a doe of each.
Oh,
Kind of excited for that.
yeah, that'd be nice.
of people that want the New Zealand, but they have a hard time looking at those pink eyes. So usually your colored ones, your blues, your tans, your reds, the blacks, they've got dark eyes. So
Well, they are
anyways,
kind of evil looking at first,
Yeah.
so you get used to it. It's like, ew. Sweet.
but so I'm
All
very
right.
excited about that.
All right. Well, I'll let you go.
All right, Rick. Well, thank you.
for coming up.
Thank you for coming up. Sylvia, I want to thank you for coming up. And that was an interesting
Little stove or
Yeah.
heater.
heater.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice. Okay, I'm going to jump down.
All right, Rick. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Good night. Thanks.
Right.
Yep. No, that was great, Sylvia. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I had never even heard of such an animal.
Very informative.
Yeah. And safe. You know, if you needed something for
Yeah.
an emergency or to cook,
Yeah.
you know, it probably wouldn't work good for a big house like this. But if you were if
But we
you
could go to one room.
go into a smaller room and be able to cook too.
Mm-hmm.
So very good.
Good night, Jay.
Good night, Jay. Jay, if I can remember it, I'm not going to do it tonight because I got way too much tonight. But text me tomorrow, and I will send you a link to a place that's just up the road from us.
What, the deer farm?
Well, I guess you'd call it a deer farm, but I know it's something Grove, and I can't think of the.
Fruit thing? The-
No.
What are you talking about?
It's up that way.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah, actually, somewhere I got a picture. No, I won't do it here. Anyways, I'll send that link to you. So, friends, I want to thank you so much. We'll see you all tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Early. Yeah. It's going to be a late night for me, too, because I got a whole sermon to do. But it's all good. It's all good. Love you all.
Night,
God bless
Sylvia.
you. And you know what, Tony?
Yes.
I
I
gotta
don't
get
even
to the
know
right
where it
part.
is. Wow. There it is.
There it is.
Night, everybody.
Love you all.
Love
Good
you.
night. Good night, Sarah. Check the bunny, the Rabbitry site there. I did a little more work on it last night. I don't know if you've been watching it, and I should have sent the link. Love you all. God bless you. Where is it?
It's right there.
Oh.